Aye.
Donna,
Here.
Randall,
Yep.
and Robbie, all
Here.
present for the meeting.
Now, I'm not the secretary.
I don't know who it is. I don't remember.
I'll be
I'm the
secretary.
co-chair.
I'll be the secretary.
So Robbie, you be secretary. We gonna met one before.
It's got Patrick as co-chair.
Yeah, I know.
We'll have to look back at the minutes and
They
see
don't.
who was the what.
They don't have back to secretary, so they need.
It'll be in the back, right here.
Got it. What, we have, got here the committees, and showing that, for the salary benefit,
I'm the co-chair though.
all right, number three, approve the minutes from the last meeting, dated February fifth, 2024. Everybody had a chance to look at those. It's pretty simple, we only, looks like we only talked about a couple of things.
I'll make the motion.
Got a motion by Donna, got a second by Patrick. All aboard? Motion carried. All right, number four. To approve resolution 2024-0311-01 for county clerk to pay salary supplements out of the $3 title fee. Leanne, I'll let you on the floor.
Victoria, or Victoria, you sit right here. They just called you.
All right.
Robin, Leanne, you got the floor.
Oh, okay, all right. This has to do with the clerk's titling fees, and I'm gonna pass out to you a copy of the law, which you may have already seen, because I think at one point this committee had addressed this issue. I wanted to give everybody a copy of this, which the second page is in fact the law, so you just take one and pass one, and I can give one to Victoria. Thank you, Leanne. And there's no controversy about this. In the beginning, there was a controversy because, the statute, if you'll look on the second page, that's the statute itself, which is Tennessee Code annotated 55-6-104. And this authorizes fees to the county clerk for specified duties. And these duties have to do with titling, restoration of vehicles. And, the money that the clerk's office, their time that they do this certification and restoration, they're actually doing it for the state. And, the commissioner is going to reimburse them for carrying out these type of jobs. And, if you look on the second page, under section D, this has been the issue all along, is it wasn't clear what this money could be used for. And section D says the commissioner is authorized to establish a reasonable transaction-based payment to compensate the county clerks for acquisition, maintenance, modernization, enhancement, or replacement of software or equipment and related necessary supplies used in operations of titling and restoration systems. Now, that's been a little bit confusing for the various clerks and the county attorneys around the state, but the CTAS lawyers advised me that it's okay to go ahead and allow the clerk's office to give bonuses.
Not bonuses, salary supplements.
Yeah, salary supplements, I'm sorry, shorthand bonuses, but, that it's okay to do that, and the comptroller's office, needless to say, has been a little difficult to work with. That's not unusual, is it? But the comptroller's office refused to give us an opinion as to whether or not this money could be used for supplements. Now, for some reason, I think Ms. somebody along the way thought that there had been requested a state attorney general's opinion to clarify this, but there has not been, according to the CTAS lawyers, that has, as far as they're aware, that has not been submitted. So CTAS lawyers advised me that as long as this committee approves this and the county commission via a resolution and make it clear, as to the details, then it's okay to do this, because we've asked the comptroller's office, I believe Connie asked them, to give us opinion, and they refused to do that. Is that right, Connie?
Yes.
Okay, so the comptroller's office says, no, we're not giving you an opinion. So we're gonna go ahead and do this pursuant to this statute, and I think it's fine to do that. And I'll prepare the resolution, have it for you Monday night with all the details. I wanted Victoria here to be sure we got the details right. As I understand it, Victoria, you want to give them a supplement pay in the spring and one in the fall.
Yes, ma'am.
So I talked with Teresa in payroll, and she said it would be really good if we could do it pursuant, when I draw this resolution, pursuant to which payroll. I think there's two payrolls, a first payroll and a second payroll per month. And so I'm gonna prepare the resolution, if it's okay with you in this committee, that I looked up the first, who knows when the first day of spring is?
21st of March.
So, the first day of spring is March 20th.
Ooh, that's close.
And the first day of fall is September 22nd. And, so, we're going, if it's okay with this committee and with Victoria, we're going to prepare this resolution to say that these supplements will be paid twice a year, in the fall and in the spring. It will be the first payroll prior to that day in spring, which is the first day of spring, and it will be the first payroll prior to the fall day, which is September, the first day of fall, September the 22nd. So it'll be the payroll before those 2 days. And so that'll be in the resolution, so it'll be clear that Teresa can get that in those 2 payrolls. Okay? And so now, as I understand it, Victoria, every employee in your office actually does this titling work.
Yes, ma'am.
So that will be how many employees?
5 employees.
5 employees that will get this bonus, and are you gonna include yourself in it?
No,
No, it's just the employees.
Yes.
All right, I think that's, and another thing that we'll have to do to the county policy is amend the county employee policy to say that this supplement will be paid to the clerk's employees twice a year. Just to clarify, it's to those particular employees, not any other employees of the county.
So we're gonna have to specify the policy stating that we only give it to the clerk.
Yeah.
Clerk.
Yeah, and that policy change will be brought before the county commission, and you just either okay it, you all don't, there's no resolution required to make that amendment, we amend it, and we'll show it to you, and then you just vote on yes or no. So, does anybody have any questions about that? Yes, Tom?
For this supplemental pay, where does it fall under acquisition, maintenance, modernization, enhancement, or replacement of software or equipment and related necessary supplies? Where will that fall in there?
Do what now?
And number D.
Isn't that number D, what, she's wanting to know which one of those categories that supplement pay policy?
Oh, okay.
Is that right, Donna?
Yeah. Well, we all know we've listened to other people on stuff and then got our hands banged on it. I just wanna know where it's gonna fall. Are they gonna be able to come back on, and Victoria and her crew, and say, hey, we want that money back?
Well, we asked the comptroller's office, you tell us, is it okay to do this through a supplemental now, several other counties are doing the same thing, they're actually increasing the pay for each of their employees, but it's the same thing, it's supplemental, it's, the money is, and the money pursuant to this law cannot go to the general fund, it has to be put into the clerk's office.
The way it was wrote is if it has anything to do with titling, of course, they do that daily.
They can be used towards replacement software, equipment, enhancements and maintenance and stuff like that.
Right, it can be used for that too. But several clerks, and including Victoria, has asked that it be added as supplemental pay, and the comptroller's office has not told us no.
That does not deplete the account by no means.
That was my question, is, two things. One is, all of these other things that it's for is covered, we won't need to upgrade anything and have to come back and need anything. The second thing is, I don't know how workman's comp and general liability works at the county level, but if there's supplemental pay, the extras that go along with that, because payroll's increased, will that come out of the general fund, or will that also come out of
Comes
the?
out of the fund. It'll come out of that fund.
Everything will come out of the fund.
Everything will.
Everything related to it.
Okay, that's.
Basically, my way I understand
Yes,
it.
okay, yes, exactly right.
We're adding supplemental pay to that definition, that's the way, I think, the way
Yeah.
Billy ain't got it to see that.
Yeah.
That we just add the supplemental pay
Today,
to D,
what day?
and then we're qualified.
Right, now I'll include that in the resolution.
Is it gonna be the same amount both times?
Yes.
The permanent?
That.
Permanent.
Yes.
Same
Well,
supplemental pay.
eventually, maybe if it would continue, I mean, it would be great to offer more, you know. I mean, I'll say permanent, cause over time changes.
And it depends on how much you got in the account at the time.
Exactly,
It's not,
yes.
it won't be like if the same $250 per person.
Sounds good,
It's
exactly.
what she's got
Okay.
in the pool, so if something breaks down and has to come out of that pool,
There's no
then
such.
what's left over.
Perfect.
I'm paying right now, it's paying a part-time employee, and it's still plenty of money in there for if something happens and we need to use it for, for whatever channel I have to go through, we have envelopes, we give the customers, they love the pink envelopes that you give the registration, and, I was hoping to take some of that money and pay for that as well, so it will come out of the general fund.
That's right, that's all we know.
If there's any increase, we'll have to bring it back to work committee. And get it for,
Yeah.
it's different than what she's gonna pay this year, next year, we'll have to bring it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that'll be voted on this year. Next time more.
Does anybody else have any other questions? I'm sorry, I'm hard of hearing in this particular ear, Donna.
That's okay.
You might have anything else, any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion. Motion to approve, Randall made the motion. Second by anyone?
Sure.
Second by Patrick.
Now, one last thing
Yeah.
before I go, I'm going to pass out some good news for you. I just thought this was a cute little story.
Good.
You know, we're always looking at bad news, but I wanted to tell you about this, and I've got a copy for Victoria too. This is a family in California who, their family came to this country, from China in 1939, I believe it was, and nobody would rent them a home. And so this black couple in California rented them a home. And, and now, after all these years, of course, that Asian family eventually was able to buy the home from the black people. And they also bought the adjoining property. Now, they are giving this $5 million to black students, to use for college education. And I just thought this was a great story, and you needed a good news story for today, right? So I will bid you adieu, and you have a good rest of the evening, unless there's anything else I need to
All right,
know.
we need to do a roll call vote on this, since we're doing the money part of it. Robbie,
Yes.
Randall,
Yeah.
Donna,
Yeah.
Patrick,
Yes.
and all four motion carries, so we'll send it to the full court for, Monday night. We go to, number 5, any old or new business to discuss. Tim, you're here, if you wanna get up and cover the stuff. I think I know, hold up.
We came Monday night and presented this. You know what we presented.
Randall made a motion,
I made a
Patrick
motion,
seconded.
Patrick seconded. Then we, all voted yes.
What we're looking at is trying to, of course, we were here before last budget, trying to get more money for, deputies, but this is, this is correction.
I got it on my phone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This was a study for the jail that was done. And basically, going through the first few pages is just censuses and jail populations and stuff like that. Until you get into page, 13. It starts with the kind of the organizational structure, how many, and then 14 tells is kind of just where you're getting into the meat of it. In 2020, from November of 22 to November of 23, we had 22 personnel positions in the jail. We had 22 positions turnover that year, which is 100% turnover rate. So they're leaving pretty quickly. And then on page 15, it tells from the confidential interviews that TCI, which is Tennessee Correctional Institute, which governs the jail, have done some interviews with some of the folks that's leaving. And the main thing is the pay's not competitive, we're short-staffed, because there's a lot of days that we're running with 3 people on what we call the floor, to run the whole jail with anywhere from 120 to 140 inmates, so. And with, lack of time off, of course, right now, our overtime budget, we're on track for this year. We're averaging $10,000 a month overtime, because we were so short-staffed, we're having to pay other folks to come in and cover. And sooner or later, those folks are gonna get burned out, and they're gonna quit. So, we do have a few that younger folks that will come in and work, and likes the overtime, but, at some point, we're gonna reach a point where we don't have nobody, and then we're gonna be faced with some major issues. We've got the lack of, some of our supervisory staff, they say is lack of people skills, but that can be done with training, with having no more folks on hand. What training, we can't do a lot of training because they're having to cover shifts, so, it's pretty much, I guess you'd say the jail is bleeding, and we gotta stop the bleeding somewhere. And according to this, the CTAS study, which I presented last year for the deputies, they're talking about, the jail side, since the last study, the average for jails around their pay has increased by $2.22 an hour. So we're falling way behind. And then you can read on page 16, it talks about what they recommend, is for a pay increase to be competitive. It said add 4 correctional positions, a administrative sergeant or lieutenant to manage the training, 2 transport officers, because we stay pretty busy, with transports, mostly our, mental health transports from the hospital to whatever medical facility they're gonna have to go to. So, they pretty much hit the nail on the head with this. We're gonna have to, I know times is hard for everybody, but we're gonna have to get some paid up, or we're gonna be losing everybody.
What is the, we're gonna start, this committee will start working on salary. What is the number that you and John are gonna propose to increase these people? Is it 222 or?
Well, I would say, just kind of a rough guesstimate right now, it's probably would be somewhere between $2 and $3 an hour. I couldn't just nail it down to, because I know we've lost as far as the roadside, we've lost 2 officers to the city within the last month. They are $2.20-something more an hour than we are.
You have that pay scale?
I've got one somewhere or other I had from last year, but I can get it updated.
You get it to Connie and let us look at it.
But I know from what I saw and from what I've been told, they went to $18.23 now.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what we can do, I haven't seen the budget numbers, but, we at least will know what you're kinda asking for and work towards something like that. Does anybody have any questions for Tim? Any comments? You guys done a pretty good job on the study, I read it from the other night, and, they get down to the nitty gritty, and we are needing help over there, for sure. Patrick, y'all for?
Thank you. How are we doing? Remember we talked about, having another census to bring more money in? A lot of this has to do with increasing people in the county. Are we gonna have that census so we get more money per person? Is that?
The sales tax auditor was supposed to be working on that, I think she's still working on it.
Okay.
It takes a lot, cause she's gotta get permission from the state.
Sure. Okay.
She's getting permission from Curtis, and Curtis was all for it.
Okay. But it's in the
So
works.
It takes a little bit.
Cause according to this, we're looking at, the influx of people. So influx of people, there's more money, then again, that way we're not looking.
Well, we even you now, we couldn't get ready for now, this next budget cycle, it'll take a year before we know the numbers and all that, so.
It takes a while.
So, I mean, it's a good thought, but it's something that,
As long as we're working on it.
yeah.
Good.
Any other questions, Tim?
You're half-staff right now?
We are, in the jail, we are down 8 positions as of Monday night.
Is that all corrections or?
All corrections, yeah, I'm down 3 positions on the road,
You're down 3 deputies and
8 in the jail.
is Putnam County started hiring their,
They are, my understanding, they're starting their interview process.
that's what worried me, cause they're hiring 70.
Yep. And I know they start, according to what they're putting out, it's start out anywhere between 38 and 58,000 a year. And our guys don't even make close to that, so. Of course, Putnam County gets bigger, but
Well, you gotta go to the tax rate that we already have.
but we need to be competitive with a lot of these closer counties.
Right.
That's our size.
Well, we'll,
Vickers County's way up over $17 an hour for the road.
well, I know you don't hear it from us, but we do appreciate all you do over there, and we know you got a hard job and know how to do it for this, so. We'll do our part if we can.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Sam.
Do we have any old or new business to discuss? Are we gonna try, Connie, we got a footnote in here, make a meeting again in March, or you're gonna wait till it all in April here? Do we need to schedule a few meetings in March and April to get the salary schedule?
She said, hold on just a second.
Oh, I didn't hear it, she talks a lot. Okay. Does anybody have anything? Looks like, as of right now, the next meeting is gonna be Tuesday, April the 2nd.
Of course, Shane is in the same boat with his, employees, the same as him. Of course, he didn't,
Does he have any numbers or anything?
What about the
He'll-
maintenance,
he-
Connie?
he'll cut the numbers.
Darwin was asking.
But, of course, he didn't know Tim was gonna be here to present, or he'd been here too, but we can get him on his schedule to come and talk to the salary committee.
Who do you need?
Shane.
Oh.
Well, you know, Tim was gonna come tonight to bring this. Of course, he wasn't on the agenda, but, we can schedule him a time to come and talk to the committee.
We probably need to schedule several meetings to get it all rolling on to.
I agree. I didn't know if we want to start tonight, March, or wait till April. Start
Let's do
now.
it.
Well, everybody get the calendar out.
I'm good with whatever.
We got to, Randall, what's your schedule like?
good anytime this month, but I'm gonna be gone from the third till the seventh of next month.
Oh, that's April, okay. What about you, Patrick, you gonna be out of town?
No, I should be in town, let's go
Rob,
on
you
sick.
got plans?
After Wednesday next week, I'm good.
Okay, so let's look at after next, and the side would be the 13th, so anytime after the 13th. What about the 14th?
What's that on?
On Thursday? That's the second Thursday of March. That good with everybody? Stephen, you gonna be gone?
I'll be gone.
Okay, all right.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, yes. All right, what about, the 21st will be the nursing home meeting, so, we'd have to do either the 18th,
Could we do it after the rest of the
we could do
meeting?
that afterwards, I guess.
Would that be okay, Connie?
It'd be great to meet me.
5:30?
5:30 on the 21st. Wait, that's Tuesday.
We got a 911 meeting on the 21st at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I was gonna say can't do that, so.
Do it
What
on,
about-
do it on, well, we could do it on the 19th,
I was
after
gonna say
the
the
ethics
19th.
meeting. We
Let's
got
do three.
ethics on the 19th.
You guys have ethics committee meeting, it's 5:30, according to this, let's change. Is that still right, you think? All right, so we can do it at 5 o'clock, Saturday, we'll do it at 5. That'll be 3/19. 5, okay? And then we've got, either the 26th or the 28th, that week. What, 28th or is it 26th, guys?
What day of the week?
26th is a Tuesday, and, 28th is Thursday. Let's do it on Tuesday, the 26th at 5 o'clock. Has anybody got anything scheduled for that? Everybody good on that? Okay. April, let's go to April.
We already got one April 2nd.
What about the, we've got, the 9th, we've got ethics committee again, we could do it at the 9th or the 11th.
We've got ethics on April the 9th.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I didn't think I got that down.
Yeah, that's what I got, so we could do, at 5 o'clock, or you think it may take a little longer than that, Connie?
It'll take me 1:30.
What time is the ethics on?
It's at 5:30, so let's move it to the 11th, then, April 11th, 4/11, 5 o'clock. Does anybody got anything on that day? So 4/11, 5. What about the 18th, the following Thursday?
We'd have to do it after the nursing
Yeah,
home meeting.
nursing home?
Yeah, after the nursing home, at 5:30. And then what about the 23rd, or the 23rd's on a Tuesday, and the 25th on a Thursday?
Hang on just a second.
All right, no problem.
Need to get- When I've already got one, and I'll have to go around the world.
Right.
I have to go around the world, get in
Yeah.
to my calendar. Okay, now, you said the 25th?
That's the Thursday the 25th, or Tuesday the 23rd of April. Whichever one y'all gonna do,
Every day that'd be good with me.
23rd,
23rd?
yeah, at 5 o'clock. Yeah, you think that's gonna be sufficient? Okay, alright. We'll add that to your calendar, along with the second. Does anybody have anything else before we adjourn? Alright, thank you for being here.
Who made the motion to adjourn?
Not yet, I was gonna ask. Robbie made a motion to adjourn.
All right.
Who's second? Donna second. All four?
Aye.
Uh,
Yeah.